Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be trying out these new paints here. Now these are actually called Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolors, if you would call them that. But these I bought recently because I really wanted to try them out because I just love trying out new art supplies. Honestly, it's kind of a bit of an addiction, but I love it. Now this is the 18 pan set, and you can actually get a smaller set and also like a larger set, but I decided to go with this one because it was a nice mid ground and it has quite a lot of different colors here in these individual little pans. This color here is called red. This next one is rose madder, and then also after that we have rose madder deep, which is like a deeper red color, and then we go on to cadmium scarlet, and then on to lemon yellow, and then after that we have yellow ochre, and then we have sap green light, and after that sap green and then after that we have hooker's green and viridian, which is a really nice sort of emeraldy color, and then we have ultramarine, which is a really nice dark blue color. It's pretty, common, and then we have a turquoise blue, which is really pretty, and then ultramarine pale here, and then indigo, and then cobalt violet, which looks kind of browny in the pan, but it's actually purple when you wet it, and then we have white, and then we have black, and last but not least we have burnt sienna. So that's quite a lot of colors here, and a lot of them are nice and sort of natural colors, but really nice and vibrant. So I feel like you're going to get quite a lot of range with these colors, especially if you're like mixing stuff in a palette as well. This seems like a really good set to begin with. Now inside the lid here you can see we have all of the names, and then their Japanese writing, and then the English writing underneath it, and then it seems we have some little areas where you can swatch those paints. So of course I'm gonna go ahead and swatch those because I can't read Japanese, so I don't know the writing on like the actual pans, so having that lid with the English names on them is going to be very convenient for me. Now for the subject matter of a painting, I wasn't sure what I wanted to paint first because honestly I wanted to paint something where I could showcase a good amount of these colors, but I didn't want to just paint something completely rainbow. I wanted to like obviously pick something and pick certain colors on purpose so that it would be a cool looking painting. And then I ended up deciding that I wanted to paint a dragon because it has been a hot minute since I have actually painted or drawn a dragon. So that's what we're doing today, and I'm so excited to actually get into painting a dragon, so let's dive into it. So the ideas for the dragon that I'm painting today's pose, I ended up choosing it perching on something because I just wanted to have like its claws sort of down, pointing down towards one little space, and then have its tail curl around a little bit left and right, and then have like these wings that come up and are sort of situated either side of the dragon. I just thought that it would look really cool. Now it has actually been quite a while since I've drawn my last dragon, so I decided to do all of the construction lines and stuff like that properly. Sometimes I skip them because sometimes muscle memory takes over and I can draw a dragon pretty easily, but this time I wanted to make sure that the anatomy looked good, so I did all of those different construction lines and lines where there's bones and circles where there's joints, just to make sure things make a little bit more sense. And I really like the way that I actually drew the wings as well, because I made sure that they're kind of like altered hands if you look at them carefully, because when you look at a dragon, its wings are very similar to a bat's wings, and when you look at a bat's wings you realize that those joints and stuff, they're actually like modified fingers. So I decided to make sure that there was like little knuckle bones in there. Now it definitely doesn't have like enough fingers to have like a whole hand, but it's roughly based off that, and I like the way that I drew them. I decided on a simple background because I wanted to try and go back to my basics a little bit here and just try and concentrate on the dragon's anatomy and its overall look. So I wanted a simple background background in there so that it wouldn't be too distracting with all of the details that I'm going to add on top of this dragon. So I ended up going with a blue sky with that lovely light blue color that I think was put in there on purpose to paint a blue sky, because it was honestly perfect. And I also mixed in a little bit of white in there with a bit of wet on wet techniques just to try and give it a slight cloudy look to it. So maybe there's some like really thin clouds that are like patterny in the background there a little bit. I'm just really playing with the texture here because I am using a rough watercolor paper and it has quite a lot of tooth and texture on here. So I'm using that to my advantage with having some interesting sort of cloud textures in the background, and also some nice little like textural parts on the layers of this dragon, because I decided I wanted to sort of blend it a little bit more and have it like kind of less cartoony, if that makes sense. A lot of the time I will concentrate on line art and stuff, and sometimes I feel like I'm holding myself back a little bit when I do that, because line art is so easy to get all of the details down before you even start painting, but I kind of want to like go a little bit more painterly with this, so use the paint more for the details and have like the sketch barely there, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's just my rough idea when going into this painting. Now for the color choices, when I began I added this like light browny sort of orangey color for the castle, and I ended up dimming that down later because I felt like it was just too intense. These colors are really nice and vibrant, but I'm trying to paint something a little bit more realistic, not like hyperrealism or anything, but I kind of want some realistic colors here, so I ended up dulling that down a little bit later. But I have to say, I really like the greens that I added onto this dragon. I mostly used the sap green light, but then after that I went in with some of the darker greens, and then later on with some of the blue colors as well, just to shade it a bit more. And when it came to painting in the wing area, I decided on purple because I really like the look of secondary colors together, and secondary colors are basically colors that are made with two primary colors. So we have this lovely green here, which is made with blue and yellow obviously, and then we have this purple here, which is obviously made with blue and red. And I really like the look of the purple with the green. I felt like they were a nice color choice, but I really wanted to try and I don't know, make it a little bit more harmonious. So what I decided to do was actually mix up some of the purple and then layer that over the top of the green in some pattern. And I actually really like the way that the sort of purple mixes a bit with the green and like makes this sort of earthy sort of tone to it, and it kind of like, I don't know, it makes it all a little bit more harmonious and makes the purple make a little bit more sense, because it's not just the only purple. And I actually really like the choice of patterns that I chose as well, with these like weird sort of stripes all along his body. It kind of gives it like a creepy vibe, as if like, you know how like some snakes will have like brightly colored like really detailed patterns to be like a warning to stay away from this animal because it's dangerous. That's basically what I was trying to do with this dragon, because I wanted him to look really creepy and it just give off an aura where you feel like this guy's probably dangerous. If you go near this dragon, he's probably not very good news. He angry. He probably gonna like bite your head off or something. I don't know. Maybe eat your baby. Which is interesting because I painted him perched on top of some castle remnants. Now I don't know if people live in this castle. If they do, it's probably not a good thing that there's this massive evil looking dragon on there. But anyways, about that castle, as you can see, I've now dimmed some of the colors quite a bit, and I've actually mixed up a bluey purple sort of color, and I'm just using a little flat brush here to paint in some brick texture. And I really like this too because you can see the light colors shining through in between each of the bricks, and it sort of adds quite a lot of contrast here, which is what I felt was missing from this painting. It needed a bit more contrast contrast because I kind of painted it a little bit flat. And overall, I really like the design of this dragon. I love the spikes on him and just the overall creepiness vibe. I think I got that down pretty well. And for a first painting with these paints, I think it's not too bad. Anyways, I'm going to say these paints are pretty nice. I like that they are a watercolor style paint, but they're actually a little bit more opaque than your regular watercolor, and they even come with like a white, which is like fully opaque. And I like that. It's kind of like a mix between watercolor and gouache. And I actually have a few ideas that I'm going to do with these paints soon, so keep an eye out for that. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that like and subscribe button and comment below what you think about this artwork. And if you've tried these Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolors, I probably butchered that name. It's my Aussie accent. I can't help it. I hope you're all having a lovely day. Please stay safe out there, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye everyone.